So there's a new trailer for Ghostbusters, and I gotta be honest, guys, I really debated whether or not I was gonna even put a video out on it. Literally, I flipped a coin to try and figure out whether I should bother doing this, because I couldn't decide. I very little about this thing worked for me, but there isn't all that much that I can think to say about it that I didn't already say when I did my video on the first trailer that came out. Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to reiterate all the, or at least I'm going to try to not reiterate all the same points that I said last time. I will, for one last time, point out I hate the fact that this is a reboot and discounts the old continuity. I will always hate that. The jokes, for the most part, still didn't land. There were a couple that I chuckled at. I will cop to chuckling at the selfie joke. It was dumb, but I laughed, I'm not gonna lie. But most of the other jokes were either ones we'd already seen before, and a joke is almost never funny the second time you see it anyway, or they just didn't land. I'm about split 50-50 on what I think about the actual ghosts. Most of the stuff that they showed sort of in the first half of the trailer, the more sort of actually trying to be spooky, works pretty well as far as I'm concerned. The look of it, you know, all the blue ghosts sort of slowly turning. That one in the library, you know, before it starts vomiting up slime, I think that's still a really cool design. I like the sort of ethereal, but you can see a skeleton, but it looks, you know, like a person. It's a cool look. I like that. There's a thing with like all these ghosts in mirrors and they're kind of pressing up against. That was a cool look. The other thing that I kind of like, and I actually even have reason to think might even be good in the movie, is actually the action scenes. We only get little snippets of it, but I like the intensity of the actresses. I like sort of the rhythm that we get from the little snippets of action that we see. It looks kind of inventive, it looks fun, it looks intense, so I'm looking forward to that aspect. Of course, given that thing is selling itself as hard as it is to be a comedy, and the few things I think might actually be good have nothing to do with the comedic elements, that's a problem. And actually, in a way that kind of, to me, speaks to I think they really came at this thing from completely the wrong angle. And I mean, even aside from the reboot factor, it feels like they came at this trying to make a comedy. Now, it's always struck me as slightly odd that the original Ghostbusters gets classified as a comedy. It is extremely funny, it's hilarious, but the thing is, it's not there to be funny. Being funny is not the point. It's telling a really interesting, compelling story. It is allowed to get intense and really dig into things and be spooky and creepy. And honestly, that first Ghostbusters movie, as great as the jokes are, you could strip every single joke out of that movie and it would still be really compelling and really fascinating. There's almost no scene in the original Ghostbusters that exists for the sake of telling a joke. There are scenes that are moving the story forward or showing us more about the ghosts or how the technology works, you know, information that we need, and they find a way to integrate jokes into that. But the jokes service the story. The vibe that I get from this is very much what has been going on lately in comedy films, which is that they come up with the jokes and then justify a scene to allow them to tell those jokes, which is a way of doing comedy that I don't like in the first place, and I think was a really bad way to just come at doing Ghostbusters, because when you prioritize the jokes over the story, when it is such a compelling and interesting story, you're just setting yourself up to annoy everybody. Because now if the jokes don't land, you've got nothing left. Original Ghostbusters, you could watch that, not even get the jokes or not think they're particularly funny, but there's still stuff there you can latch on to. Some of the other stuff in the trailer, I can't decide what I feel about the fact that they're going for these, I mean, like there's a dragon ghost. I can't decide what I think about that. There's part of me that wants to say it's kind of stupid, but it's very reminiscent of the Ghostbusters cartoon, which is something that I love, but I mean, that was a cartoon. It was for little kids, so I don't know. It doesn't excite me, I'll say that much. And I'm kind of really annoyed that they showed us Chris Hemsworth, getting possessed and then showing a snippet that makes it look pretty clearly like he is going to factor into the climax, like in somehow they're going to have to take him down at the end, and whatever's possessing him is like part of the really big thing. It's not just he's possessed, oh, we fix it, we move on, which unfortunately makes it feel like something that I've complained about lately with trailers. They're giving away a big chunk of the climax. I think watching the movie, if this was a character that I liked, I don't know if I was going to like him or not, but if it was, and he then got possessed and he's zooming off to help the ghost and we're going to the climax, that could have really upped the tension for the climax. And the tension is about the only thing I've got any hope for left, because as I said, the action scenes look okay, but now I already know that's going to happen. I'm not as angry about it because this isn't a movie I care as much about, but I would put this right up there as being of the exact same level of problem as spoiling the Wolverine reveal in the latest X-Men Apocalypse trailer, or spoiling the Doomsday reveal in Batman v Superman. Why are trailers doing this? So part of me wants to say the trailer's slightly better because, like I said, I'm able to kind of hone in on the action element and go, maybe that'll work. But I don't know if I'm doing that just because I've kind of already resigned myself to the fact that I'm probably not going to like this movie, and I'm just trying to grasp at anything that might give me any level of enjoyment. I don't know if I can give the trailer props for that just because my mindset is in such a place where I'm like, something, anything, where is it? But I don't really have the energy to be angry about this thing anymore, which I'm actually kind of glad at, because I am going to see this thing because I want to give it the chance to win me over. I actually would much prefer to enjoy it, but I'm not expecting to, and I think it's better for just me and my soul to not go in angry. Going in resigned is probably not the best thing either, but I think it's the better option if those are the only things that I've got going for me. So, second Ghostbusters trailer, have you seen it? What'd you think about it? Whatever you thought, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Please feel free to check out the Council of Geeks podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. And until next time, this council is adjourned.